You guys should be seeing my charts now, right? Yes.
Yes, we are.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is March 20th, 2012. I am Michael from CFRN. I just want to go over the trades that we went through in the live trading room this morning, the trades I took, the trades that set up, all that sort of stuff. There were a lot more trades that set up and actually managed to run to profit than the ones that I took, but I will show you all of them anyway. For those of you who are here for the first time or listening for the first time, if you have not taken a free trial with CFRN, you can take a free trial of all of our indicators and the charting platform. Just go to www.cfrn.net/apply. That's APPLY. All right, cfrn.net/apply. In there you'll fill that. There's a quick form in there to fill out, and once you fill that out, you'll get all the indicators that you see in here, and you will also get all of the charts that you see in here. Data feeds for every futures market, forex markets, and options. All right, and you'll have all that stuff to go over. All right, and you will also have access to our live trading room, which you can go into and see us put the things that I'm about to show you. You'll hear me go over all this stuff live. See me take trades live, talk about other trades that others have taken live, the whole thing. All right, cfrn.net/apply. Now, let's get into it. All right, results first. ES, I lost one trade, -8 ticks. YM, I didn't fill on a trade. The 6E, I lost one trade. The Russell, I went back and forth all morning. I ended up -3 ticks on the Russell this morning. Okay, so I will go over all this with you as we start here. Okay, this chart, well, I'm going to slide this over. I'll start with the ES. Okay, we only had one trade on the ES this morning. These are the rules for it right here. This is a 4-tick range trade, and these are the rules. First, you get a higher or lower swing pivot, which we got right here. The BBC, which is this green line, needs to be outside of the box. The box is the dotted red line up here. All right, price had moved so far prior to the open that it was way outside the box already. But anyway, the BBC needs to be outside the box. You need to get a fresh bubble. A bubble is down here when these red lines get outside the black lines. Down here on the chop bands. All right, that's the bubble. What that shows you is that the market is extended and it should pull back to some area of support or resistance depending which direction you're trading. In this particular case, we're looking at resistance here. The BBC was going to be our resistance. That coupled with the weekly trading zone. Pullback to the BBC must be clean, meaning there are no lower high pivots for longs or no higher low pivots for shorts. And you enter with an MIT order rounding the BBC, which is the green line, up or down to the nearest tick depending on what direction you're trading in. In this particular case, we rounded it down. We ended in at 13.94 even, and it stopped us out right here at 13.96. Price then went sideways. Pretty much the BBC never got out of the box after that. You see it's inside the box right here. The box is this area. The BBC never got outside of the box after that. It's still not outside. So that was our morning on the ES. Okay, there's nothing really to show you over here on the 10,000 contract. Nothing to show you on the 2100 tick. Nothing to show you anywhere, really. We had a bearish cross right here with a big gap down. This was our gap this morning. All right, we're nowhere near filling the gap, but it should at some point pull back up here to the line in the sand. The line in the sand is this thick line right here. This is the CF sentiment indicator. That line in the sand happens to be right at 1400 as well, so it wouldn't surprise me if it pulls back up there by the end of the day. Okay, granted, it's at 13.97 quarter right now. That's not that far away, but it looks like it is, doesn't it? If this was all the day's action so far, this looks like it's miles away, but it's really not. As Dwayne mentioned earlier, we've only traded about 700,000 contracts from the open. Okay, it's been a pretty messy sideways day. They've been all the folks, all the politicians that have been talking have pretty much drawn the market right down. I did do one thing this morning in the live trading room, just so everybody could actually see what had happened. Right here we had all this volume, right at and after the open, and then right here is when Geithner started talking. All right, and then a whole bunch of other people started talking in there as well, and you can see the volume just dropped right off after that. All right, so let's move on to other markets. The YM, I'll blow it up so you can get a better look at it. The one trade that set up after the open, the one trade that I tried to take after the open was over here. I was trying to go long right here. Price never pulled back down to the BBC. It went up to the MA1, which is the window of opportunity. It filled it before it pulled back to the BBC. So I did not try to get long when it pulled back again over here. Okay, I was trying to get long over here. I went as high as 130.94, but I did not get filled on that. Okay. This happened during the break period. There was a short opportunity. Price dropped down through here, came back up to the BBC, bounced off the BBC, down here to the MA1, filled the window of opportunity, and got bounced off of that. There's a possible long setting up right here, right now, as we speak. But I didn't get filled here on the YM at all today. All right. Let me bring the Russell over, because the Russell was pretty active this morning, up until the last few minutes here of the morning session. All right. I'll show you trades that I took off of this, and trades that I took trades off of this this chart and off another 4-tick range chart on the Russell. So I'll show you both of those, okay? Right in here, I'll just go through a few of these quickly because there are so many of them. It would take me a while to go through them all. Right in here, what we were looking at here is for this purple line right here to turn down and the black line to turn down. When that all turned down and price dropped down below the cyan, and this one right here, right, the entry in that would be right in there. I didn't get it. Let me change my my arrow color. The yellow arrows are trades that I actually took. The orange arrows are trades I didn't take, but that was an entry right there. Now on the upside there was another one right here that didn't work. Okay, then it flipped down. It didn't have one down here. There was another long right here that did work. Okay, I didn't take it again. It was right in there. I did take this short right here. I think I got just a couple of ticks out of this short trade, but I did take this short. Again, what I was looking for was the purple to turn down and the black to turn down and price to close down below the cyan line. The cyan line being below the MA1, of course. I did take that, and it gave me 6 or 7 ticks profit. Came back up and stopped me out with like 3 or 4 or 2 or something like that. Anyway, the next trade that I took, I don't think it was on this time frame, on this particular chart, but the next trade that I had taken, I think I had lost. As it were, there was another trade set up right here. Okay, we're again looking for this to turn down, and you just enter right here on the close down there. All right, that gave, I think, 8 or 10 ticks. What you're looking for here is 10 ticks when you can get it. All right, risk is 8, and you're looking for 10. It turned up right here, same thing. Right here, it turned down again. This one would not have been a profitable trade had you tried to take that one. Okay, but you may still have been in this one right here. All right, as this one came together, you may have still been in that one. Again, right here, everything turned up. You'd be looking to go long. Right here, everything turned down for the short. Right here, everything turned up for the possible long. That failed, but it did it again, like a minute later. And you had the opportunity right there. So this is a trade setup that trades very frequently, trades a lot, as you can see. You're risking 8 ticks. You're going for 10. A lot of times you're going to get 6 or 8 ticks, and at that point, if you bring your stop up to break even, then you'd have a lot of break even trades right in areas like this. It's when you get these nice winning trades, the full 10. Those are nice, and they're usually pretty quick. Usually. All right, I'm just going to scroll over to here. This was when we stopped for the morning right here. It had been going sideways right in here for a long time. I'll show you the trades that I took in this little choppy period right here from the other 4-tick range chart in just a minute. But right after we stopped for the break, of course, we had a nice move down right here, okay, and then it was followed up with another nice move down. So in this particular case, you would have been looking to get short there, and again right there, okay, from this chart, and then looking long right there, and short again right over here, right in this area right here. Right, that's a day's work right there. Those 4 trades. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 40 ticks profit. As I said, I got minus 3 ticks on the Russell this morning with the trades that I was able to enter between all the things that I was doing. But I do know that there were partners who did well and finished up in the first hour. All right, now this was the other chart that I was looking at. Now, when you're looking at this chart, what you're looking for is double divergence down here. When I say double divergence, what I mean is, well, I'll show you right here. After the open, this divergence between those lines and those lines at the same time. If you have the double divergence and you get, like in this particular case, an up close, this was bullish divergence, and up close above the BBC and above the MA1. It was going right into the weekly trading zone, so I didn't take it, but it went right up there, and it made, I don't know how many ticks it made, but your entry would have been here at 25.6, and it went up to 26.6, so it made the full 10. Scrolling along, we didn't have that many more opportunities up until here. I took this short right here. All right, that was the second trade that I had taken. That one lost. I said I took a trade that lost in there. There was another one followed up right here with a bullish divergence, double divergence. I'll point that out to you right here. Okay. Right there. Close up above everything again for the move up. All right. I did take this trade over here. We had the double divergence right here, so I took that one for 10 ticks. Okay. Again, this one was a bounce off the BBC with a double divergence. You know, price had already moved up, broken resistance, came down, bounced off the BBC, and just moved up. I think it went 12 ticks total, and I took 10 out of it. There was another opportunity right over here. This was not from this chart. This was from the other chart. I went long right here from the other one that we were looking at. And then while I was long, it put in the bearish divergence, so I got out of the trade. Okay. I got out of the trade at break even. And I pointed out at the end of the morning session, right here is where the entry would be with the double divergence. Right here, we closed down below the MA1 and below the BBC. At a down close with a double divergence. Okay. This right here is bearish divergence. You see the arrows are always pointing toward the red and blue line down here. So that was the bearish divergence right there. Okay. We had it again right here. So there was another opportunity to enter. And you notice on the other 4-tick range, chart, we had entry possibilities in the same spots. If we scroll back here a little bit, where was it? Yeah, right here. There and there. All right. Now on the long side, we're not going to have an entry on this chart. All right, with a double divergence, we're not going to have an entry on the long side there. Not until over here. And this one would have actually just failed. Okay. Right. Oops. Right there. All right. So that was the Russell, the YM, the ES. The 6E is the only one left. All right. I'm going to bring the 6E over here. Now, here we go on the 6E. This morning we had the white leading the green on the way down right here as we broke the elbow to the downside. Typically when that happens, the BBC will hold. In this case, it did not hold, and price worked its way up through it. Once it went up through it, it went sideways up here. But it got sideways up here for, I don't know, it seemed like it was sideways for a long time. Yeah, there it was. It was sideways for a long time. For about an hour. It was even more than an hour. It was sideways. Over here, it broke the elbow to the downside, but the white was not leading the green. They were right on top of each other, and it was going right into a weekly trading zone, so we weren't expecting it to hold down there. It did eventually hold. All right. Then we had some bearish divergence. At that point, the close down below the MA1 Right here was a possible entry spot. Of course, that was during the break period, so I wasn't looking to trade right in there. Okay. That was the 6E. Alright. So that's pretty much it. Let me just see. I don't think we have any questions. Nope, there's no questions. Alright, if anybody has any questions, type them in. I'm going to stop the recording here. But if you have any questions, just type them in there, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay. So I showed you the Russell, the ES, the YM, the 6E. I didn't show the NASDAQ. I guess I can show that. Let me show the NASDAQ. I didn't take any trades on the NASDAQ, but I'll show you what it looked like anyway. Alright, let me just find my NASDAQ chart. Here it is. Oops. Oh, that'll do. Now using just the same double divergence business. Okay, that double divergence trade. Right here you were expecting the BBC to hold because you had divergence on both of these. So you're anticipating the BBC to hold right there. Right here you have bullish divergence, but price is all over the place. So there was really nothing going on right there. Okay, you were expecting the BBC to not hold on this pullback up right here. It was just really junky right in there though. Let's see. Over here, you were expecting the BBC to hold right there because you have the divergence. Alright. If we scroll over here, this would be the last one of the morning. Right here, you would anticipate the BBC to hold. Okay? And it pushed price down. Right now, from right over here, you would expect it to move up. Okay? Right in here, you would be anticipating that to give you an up move with a double divergence to the upside and support dots right there. Okay? So what I would watch for would be a close above the MA1 and above the BBC. If that happens right here, then I would think that we'd have a move up. Okay? That's what I would look for. That would be the entry technique. Alright. We just got to close above the MA1. Now we need to close above the BBC, and that should be off to the races. Alright. Back over here, the YM. We had a bullish cross with a pullback down to the BBC right here. That is a long trade setup right there. Okay. It should get up here to 13,107, at least up there to 13,107. We don't have anything on the ES. This is an ES 5-minute chart, but if we flip over to 10,000 contract, we're just getting a bullish cross there, but it hasn't pulled away from the BBC yet. Nothing here on the 4-tick range. I slide the Russells over. Alright. We almost have bearish divergence here, but it's going right into a weekly trading zone, so there's not really anything to look at right there. Okay, and there's one more Russell trade here that one more Russell chart that I want to take a quick look at, because this is the one that trades all the time. This one is suggesting a long from right here at 22.9. Right now, 22.9. Okay, off of support. Black is headed up, purple's headed up. We closed above everything. That's suggesting a long right there from 22.9. Alright, so that's it. We're going to wrap it up, and well, I'll wrap up the recording anyway.